Hello, welcome to all my combo lords joining me here today. I'm a little delayed on the stream because today I was hoping to do it outside. Hopefully we can check in on our outdoor classroom, but it's sprinkling outdoors. It may have stopped at this point. I'm not feeling any sprinkling at the moment, but don't want to get my computer ruined. As you may know, I'm not great at technology, which is why as I pull open my computer right now, it'll probably look pretty glitchy as I pull open the view of the computer portion of what we'll be looking at. I don't love technology, but there's a few pieces of technology that I am indebted to that have helped me greatly that I love studying the craft of. And those include my laptop for whatever things I use that for, as a notebook, as a editing device, as a streaming device, and etc. So we must respect the laptop. We must not drag it out into the crazy rain when not necessary. Now, here, while we begin our chats, I figured might as well pop open some of our classic graphs, because that's one of our activities we like to do on the computer. And today, that's not our necessarily main topic. We will be doing a few different things between celebrating certain holidays and just the general holiday vibe that winter may provide, regardless of if any holiday we speak of today is one that you particularly participate in or not. But I know that the closest holiday and one of the most popular ones in the world is Christmas. Well, by the way, just for what we'll also be doing, if people do not care about holidays, we'll also be messing around with what I call numberations. We're not going to numberate it yet. We're going to make some wacky graphs while I chat. But numberations are something that is a random term I nicknamed for something that other people have possibly come up with other nicknames for before. Who knows? I could not find any other nicknames for this exact concept that I made numberations, so I nicknamed it. I thought it was useful for future curriculums or for humans to know, humans to think about. So for those curious, make sure that you have seen on this is actually my main channel, Combo Class. The one that I'm streaming this on has a lot more subscribers than this, but that's because I consider shorts to be bonus content, and I put the shorts on this, what I consider my bonus channel, but those often drag in a larger quantity of subscribers. In any case, this is where my deepest projects often go, is on my channel called Combo Class, and this new one is about a cool pattern I found that I was discussing in a previous stream and have now, made a slightly clearer representation of. Now, there's also some other cool ones to make sure that you're caught up on. But today, what I wanted to make sure my camera was on for a moment was to say, I know the most recent holiday and one of the most popular ones is Christmas. And some people may assume that I don't celebrate that as much because I have mentioned that I am more blood-wise, genetic-wise Jewish than Christian. I have a bit of each in me. But if we were to go back to the grandparent level, 3 of my grandparents were Jewish and 1 was Christian. So we could call it 3/4 or whatever. If we were to go beyond that and try and go to great-grandparents, could seemingly give us better data. Unfortunately, one of my grandparents, my father's father, was a Jewish man in Germany in the Holocaust, meaning that he had to escape and nearly died, and his family was lost records of and or killed, depending on the family member. And so I cannot track my father's father's father or mother. I cannot go back 3 generations there. So we'd have skewed data in any case if we were to try and amalgamate a further level than great-grandparents. So on a great-grandparent level, I could say I'm about 3/4 Jewish and about 1/4 Christian. And that's approximately the degree to which my family celebrates winter holidays. Approximately we, 3/4 of the time we'll use the menorah when we give some sort of winter gift, and approximately 1/4 of the time we will do that related to some sort of Christmas tree. And although I am less Christian than Jewish, and I don't know who follows my streams that closely, but I have in the past spoken certain criticisms of organized religion, certain ways in which, nothing against whatever religion people want to follow, but certain aspects of organized religion, such as certain things certain churches do, is negative to society. And so I have certain criticisms of ways in which religion is implemented, and some of it is, criticisms of one of the main Catholic texts, the Bible, or interpretations of that. And don't get me wrong, I think that some of that stuff is awesome. Like, some of the teachings attributed to Jesus are about loving your enemies, and about trying to feed the homeless, and about trying to accept everyone. And these are things that are awesome. Great to believe in. Nothing wrong there. Now, other things are either directly in the Bible, quite strange, endorsing things I would not endorse, or ways in which people interpret it that become quite skewed as well. And despite that, it is a big holiday that we can find some appreciation out of, and because of that, my family does once in a while get a sort of Christmas tree. And yes, I am living here in my family's house. And yes, I may have brought our little Christmas tree with me, because you see, the tree I have it's not the size of the normal Christmas tree you might expect. It's like, you ever seen the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, where, like in one of the Charlie Brown specials, like, it's a tiny little thing. Like, mine's like halfway between that and a normal tree. But mine's actually better, because a lot of normal trees are dead when you buy a Christmas tree. It's like, okay, time to appreciate this tree's death. They chopped it down for me to have in the house. Nothing wrong with having that. There's a lot of trees in the world. It's not a problem to get a Christmas tree. It's not like one of the big strains on society. But it would be even cooler if you had a Christmas tree that was living, that you were going to plant somewhere. Now, you wouldn't do that probably with a really big Christmas tree, because that would be a lot harder to replant. So perhaps if you wanted to get a live tree that you could celebrate Christmas with, it would have to be a little Charlie Brown Christmas tree-ish. And that's what we have today, folks. We have my family's Christmas tree this year, and we mostly celebrated with the menorah, because like I said, we're a little more Jewish than Christian. But we did get since I'm more Jewish than Christian, we're going to say that I'm actually, maybe we should pronounce it with some of the typical Jewish sounds that a CH often goes. Like, you may have noticed I put Chanukah in the title. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation, but it's a little, in some pronunciations, less like ha-nakah and more like ha-nakah, with a little bit of a different tone coming from your throat. And so I always thought it would be hilarious if my family went down to a Christmas tree lot and we were like, okay, so we're a Jewish family and we don't usually do this, but we would like to try and get a Christmas tree. And we want to try and celebrate Christ on this Christmas. Would that be going too far in any way, or would that be a hilarious gag? Let me know. Now, I don't mean that to be offensive to either culture. I think that we must be mildly mocking of whatever holidays we celebrate, because holidays are inherently a loving thing and a silly thing. And, every holiday has its own sillinesses that we must be okay with mocking a little bit. With that said, my family did get a Christmas tree this year, but it's a small one that's going to be for planting. Okay, I got to be careful with this. Okay, I got to really be careful because it's in soil. So not only do I not want to damage the tree, but it's in soil, so I don't want to spill the soil all over my bed that we're on right now. So, yep, we got a Christmas tree right here. And some homemade ornaments, like, here's one my mom made with different fortunes, and I haven't actually read the fortunes on it. We can get a lucky, they're like from fortune cookies. Let's see what lucky fortunes we get. We get, the respect of influential people will soon be yours. That one's kind of it's an alright fortune. It's kind of just trying to hype you up. This one says, an old friend will introduce you to new people and pleasures. It's interesting. This one says, you will have gold pieces by the bushel. Okay, it's like, come on. No, that's not true. I'm not going to have gold pieces by the bushel. Stuff trying to hype me up. I'm not going to have gold pieces by the bushel. Like, I don't even know if I'll ever be rich, but even if I am rich, it will probably not be in the form of gold pieces or in the form of bushels. Now, so it says, focus on the color purple this week to bring you luck. That's intriguing. This one says, now is a good time for serenity, a book, and a good friend. Okay, and the last one we'll read, let's see. Here we got, magnanimity will bring you universal respect. What does that mean? Being magnanimous will bring you universal respect? Isn't that like something magnanimous you assume to like have respect? I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, some of those are vague and funny. I remember one time I got a fortune cookie, and then this is the only time I've ever got a duplicate fortune cookie where you get the same fortune. It was like a place I went to like 20 times, and I got the same fortune twice from there. Here's what the fortune said. I still have this somewhere. It said something like, is very close to what it was, if not identical, was, an attractive blonde will bring you good luck or pleasure in the future or something. It was like that I was going to like meet some attractive blonde woman or something. I got that twice. And I did not take that as some sign that I have some destiny to be wed to a blonde woman or whatever. I'm open to any cool female combo lords, regardless of hair color. But I did take it as a sign that the factory they make it at as like some funny process that results in within 20 fortunes, you're going to get some sort of duplicate. And that they have a limited enough supply or some weird amount of glitch in like the newest ones getting duplicated within a batch. They either have a mega glitch or a really limited enough supply that some really random fortune about like a blonde woman in your future would be the one duplicated. So anyway, plenty of ornaments, plenty of things to celebrate, but this isn't the only holiday going on, you know? And yeah, it's a pretty small tree, but it's living. So we can smell the actual pine. Well, you can't, sorry. I can smell the actual pine. Now, I think it's pine. I'm not positive. Anyway, I'm going to need to put this down somewhere in a minute because I don't want it to spill dirt on my bed, and it's actually feeling kind of precarious, but I'll just hold it for a minute. Anyway, there's a lot of holidays to look at. Like, if we look at list of holidays on Wikipedia, oh boy, do you get a long article. And these are not just like I'm naming the holiday. Each of these are their own article. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like, so I had a bar mitzvah as a Jewish holiday. It's not a holiday, but it's like a rite of passage where like Jewish boys have a thing called a bar mitzvah. Jewish girls have a thing called a bat mitzvah. Not all families do it. I wouldn't be that committed to doing it with. I wouldn't make a kid of mine do it unless my partner really wanted to. in which case I'd be like, okay, I'll go with it. It it's something that can be helpful for some people. It's like this rite of passage ceremony where you read from the Jewish part of the Bible, the Torah, and you have to learn how to read Jewish script and how to intone it in different pitches, almost like singing. And then you have to deliver it, and then you have to deliver, like, in English, your interpretation of it. And, like, all your family and relatives are there and stuff, and it's pretty awkward for anyone having to do it. Some people learn a bunch from it, partially because the good portion of the ceremony is that you got to study a book. It's not necessarily my favorite book, but having to study a book is probably a good thing. With that said, I was already studying a lot of books, and so I don't know if it was a necessary rite of passage for me. I was kind of like, why am I studying this book right now? I would rather study other books. But it can be useful in some ways. I had that, so while I was preparing for that, I went to a synagogue, is like a Jewish church. The one I went to was pretty chill, very singing related, very musical. Not that orthodox, as you'd say, in terms of they weren't that, like, strict about the traditions. And so I did still see my share of Jewish holidays at some of the things there. And oh boy, do they like making a lot of holidays in Judaism. Oh boy, does Judaism like having a lot of holidays. So you got your Shabbat every week. Rosh Hashanah can be a new month, which is also on... Oh no, Rosh Hadesh is the first month. Rosh Hashanah is the new year. And my family sometimes does Rosh Hashanah. We're not going to go so far as to do a Rosh Hadesh every month. We sometimes do the Shabbat, which is like similar to the Sabbath that other cultures have, which is like at some point in the weekend. For Jewish people, it's from Friday night to Saturday night. But for Christian people, I think it's more like just on Sunday. It's like a little different. But the Sabbath is like a time that's like a extra weekendy time. It's supposed to be. You're supposed to be like not working that hard and not using that many electronics and stuff, even though people don't follow that one at all. And kind of just like being old fashioned and not working that hard. It's supposed to be like a time of rest. But many cultures have a version of that. I'm sure I'm butchering the version of how I'm describing the Jewish version. I'm almost vaguing it out for a reason because it's very similar to other traditions, all of these things. My favorite was one called Tu B'Shvat. Let's see if they have that one. Yeah, Tu B'Shvat, because that one was related to the trees and nature. And I guess I also probably like Tu B'Shvat because you got to eat fruit during the ceremony. But just the fact that you're celebrating trees seemed better than some of the other celebrations. I'm like, yeah, I'm down to celebrate trees. Now, there's, like I said, a lot of freaking holidays, but it's not just Judaism that does that. There's a lot of freaking Christian holidays as well, and for most cultures. Holidays are fun. When I was a child, I invented a holiday per month and a bonus one, so there was 13 total. And I will find that sheet sometime. There's going to be a year of combo class where over the course of the year, I'm going to celebrate all of the holidays that I invented when I was like 6. And I have them written on a piece of paper and the rules you have to follow and the dates and the names. So we're going to, some year, dig up that piece of paper and follow all 13 holidays. The 13th one's called bonus day, so there's kind of 12 holidays. But the 12 to 13 holidays we shall celebrate. Okay, how can I prop this up? I don't want to hurt the tree. Okay, I'm going to have to move this in a minute. Just hold it for 1 minute more. Anyway, holidays can be a fun thing, and we do have to be okay with mocking them a bit, as long as we know that they can also be holy and spiritual to some people, so our mocking should be playful and not be like the holiday's bad or whatever. Like, the holidays are not inherently bad as far as at least all of these winter holidays. Like, for example, the two I put in the title was mostly for alliteration, because Chanukah, while often spelled with an H, can be spelled the way I spelled it in the title sometimes, because that is a official enough way to spell it that many sources use, because Hanukkah is not an English word. So some words that are a foreign word has multiple ways of spelling when you put it in the translation. Now, Christmas and Hanukkah are the two most popular, but those are not the only two cultures that celebrate winter holidays. Winter holidays are a classic trope, you could say. Trope is, kind of being mild with how we would put it, but like a classic, it's like a cliche, but in a good way. It's all the cultures like having a winter holiday, and it's because during the winter, everything's cold. It's harder to get food. If you're a hunter-gatherer back in the day, really hard to get food. And so you're like, okay, the winter is the time where we have to invent some mental thing, some cultural phenomena that's going to help us embrace the fact that, okay, we still have family. We might have enough resources to give gifts. We might have enough resources to like save up some of the food during the less food-based time to have at least one feast. And some of these things combine, like candles are good for the winter. Lights, feasts, gifts, family, friends. These are things that are universal to many winter holidays. And those are the good things. In fact, me and my friends do celebrate our own insane version of Hanukkah. I cannot tell all of the version of it right now. I do have some really crazy footage of us doing it in past years. Basically, all I'm going to say for now is that me and my friends have our own ritualistic version of Hanukkah that's very important to our crew. And it's a quite crazy party per year. And we do a version of dreidel. I don't know if any of you know dreidels. They're like a die. So we like them around combo class because anything that simulates geometry and randomness at the same time. It's a little less simulation of geometry. It's sort of like a spinning top. Dice are a little closer to platonic solids or whatever. But anyway, it's probably boring to look at these holidays. We'll go back to this. And while we're here, this is just a better backdrop. We need a slider so I can be sliding it around. And because it makes it way crazier when we have a slider. Oh no! Okay, here. So, this one's not helping. Okay. Anyway, now while I mutate this graph in fun ways, that'll give us an extra fun backdrop. And I will check our comments. I'm sorry, I've not checked our comments yet. I've been focused on making sure this tree doesn't fall, but I'm just going to put it away in a minute now that I've shown that, hey, look, fun, live Christmas tree. Small, but better in a way because it's living. But, okay, I'll put that away in a minute because I don't want to get dirt on my bed and I don't want to hurt the tree. You know, we're celebrating Tu B'Shvat in disguise. Now, what was I saying about holidays? I have lost track. Anyway, a lot of fun holiday winter traditions are enjoyed. Oh, no, I was saying, okay, I can't say that much about me and my friend's ritual about our version of Hanukkah, but I was going to say we play an extreme version of dreidel called Extreme Dreidel, and Extreme Dreidel is very crazy. I definitely could not, I don't even film all of Extreme Dreidel. People don't want that going on, but if I filmed all of Extreme Dreidel, then we'd get in trouble on YouTube. It's not just it's probably not what you're thinking, but it's probably everything except what you're thinking, because there's a lot going on in Extreme Dreidel. But we'll have to explain that another year. For now, I think I need to check our chat and then put this tree away for a second. Let's see. Getting the chat up is going to require me to do random stuff on my screen, so... what's with this? It's just... It can't get the detail because I went too crazy with it. Okay. I'm going to grow myself for a moment so that I can look at our chat, because to pull it up, I don't want to accidentally, like, pull open. I don't know. I'm not a computer guy. I don't know if I'll pull open something that's like, hi, it's YouTube. Let's show you your password on the screen or something. But anyway, thank you all for joining me and looking at random thoughts and leaving some thoughts of your own. Very appreciative on all these fun ones. Somebody asked what religion I practice earlier. While I mildly explained that I don't fully practice any religions, and except, okay, I said this in a previous stream. Not going to explain all the details of this either, except that I actually kind of practice something called comboism. I will tell you more about comboism in the future. But for now, just know that I am more of an agnostic comboist, and you can take comboist for whatever you think it means for now, until it's time for me to explain it further. Alright, now, lots of great comments. Thank you all. Let me put this tree back for a quick second. What I'll do is I'll set some sort of Oh no, I was going to set an animation on here, but I forgot. The default starts really fast. It's pretty cool, but pretty glitchy. Now, we're just going to replace this with a few that we'll do different combos of things. And we're going to do less tans. And then I'm going to put the slider on for a moment. And I'm just doing this to have a fun backdrop for you guys for a moment while I put our tree away. Because I'm really worried this is just going to spill dirt all over my bed and injure the tree. That's a lose-lose situation. This is weird. Why is there those lines? Okay, but we are going to get rid of the tans and the divides, and we're going to find the other ways we can make things extra cool, such as putting them on the same side. Alright, it's still pretty glitchy, the thing I've designed, but let me pull it up on screen for you guys. I forgot I'm not showing it. I need another person doing the tech on my screen. I didn't know you guys weren't seeing it for the intermediate phases. Now, this is just going a little weird like that. Partially, maybe it's because we're not at the center. That's part of why. Oh my god. Ooh, whoa. So, you can watch this. It's a bit glitchy, but it's going to go through many different phases. Hang out there for a second, and I'll be back soon. I got to put this tree Oh no, my audio wasn't even on, was it? I thought my audio was on when I was talking about our soft lovelord dandelion, and this is why I need another person helping me run the stream. I was trying to say that I was setting up a tangent because my little lovelord dandelion, the softest, nicest cat on the block, is around. But I don't even know if my audio is on until now. At least my dandelion camera was hopefully on, because he is so cute and he is so good of a boy that, you know what? He knew his name was Dandelion and he wanted to follow his name because he's such a good boy. So he decided, I'm going to be really dandy, and he's really dandy. And he decided, I'm going to be as fluffy as a dandelion, the plant, and he is. And he decided, I'm going to have a mane like a lion, and I'm going to be brave like a lion. And he is. And he's really, really nice to the other cat who is our stray who we adopted, named Sassafras, who is a new stray. And Dandelion took him in like a new little brother. And Dandelion's always nice to him and lets the stray follow him around. And Dandelion is a lovelord. So, that was our little tangent. Let's go back to my room for a moment, and then we'll check out how the weather's doing. Sorry, Dandelion, we can't be out here too long. People might need to use the living room for other things. I share this house with a variety of people. But, sorry, Dandishore. We're going to go back to my room for a minute, and I'm going to explain something kind of funny for those of you who haven't seen it, depending on your definition of funny. One sec. Okay, so sorry for any delays there. I thought I was explaining some cat lore, but I think I had the camera off, or the mic off for a while, and possibly the camera off at first too. Hopefully not too long. This is why we need the more people who help us support on Patreon and stuff, help us not only make better episodes on our full combo class channel and such, but also possibly have future streams where I could hire my camera people, such as my main camera guy Carlo, to help me with the streams. And that would be greatly helpful, which is something I'm looking at in the future, while I try and save up my budget, because I have pretty low lifestyle in terms of various things. And one thing is, I am hoping to move out of this house before long, but I am looking at moving out not too far so that I can move somewhere I can set up an indoor studio where I can stream a lot better, but that it's close enough that we can visit the combo classroom here in my classic house. And we'll keep the combo classroom in its same corner, and we'll make sure to visit there for all of our filming sessions a few days a week, because it's fun to film out there. And since the rain has seemingly paused a bit, we may even visit our combo classroom in a minute. One thing I was going to note, though, is that you may have seen a crazy blister on my hand. Okay, if you don't want to see this, I'm not going to like purposefully show it to the camera later. It's probably not as visible if I'm not purposefully showing it. It might show up anyway, so I'm going to show it just because I want you to see what happens when you get a bad burn. Now, not like a really, really bad burn, but like a medium bad burn. Now, If you don't want to see this, I'm going to count down. Here's how it's going to work. I'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when I say 0, I'm just going to show the burn for a couple seconds. And then I'm going to explain it. And you won't have to see it. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is what it looks like when you get a medium bad burn on your hand. Yes, it is going to go away on its own. But yeah, that's not fun to have on your hand temporarily. I've had worse, but the funny thing is everyone thinks I would have gotten burnt from one of the things where I'm like on fire in combo class episodes where there's like some massive explosion or whatever. However, this was not from some massive explosion or whatever. This was because the thing is, when I do some crazy big looking fire thing, those are very calculated. I have someone else with me. I have a hose ready. I have stuff. But it's always when it's this is the lesson I learned. It's when it's the small flame that you don't give enough credit. It's the big flames. I know they're a big flame. But the small flames, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's not even a flame. So you got to give the small flames enough credit for their danger. Because, you see, we're going to have to look at a little analysis of this. Some people, if they didn't read the comments, might have thought I, like, died or something. Because my last stream basically ended with me, like, okay, I burnt my hand really bad. I'll probably come back in a minute. Let me check on this. And then I didn't come back. But I replied to some people's comments on the video. Like, I didn't want people to think I was dead or whatever. I replied to some comments on the video, and I was like, no, yeah, it was a medium bad burn, but I'm okay. But if people didn't read the comments, I realized that I'm like, oh man, I just like said, I burnt myself. I'll probably be back. And then I didn't come back. But if you follow my combo class channel, you would see that on my combo class channel, this is my best channel in my opinion. I love both channels. This one's just the one I'm streaming on now is more like my playground. It's feels funny to me that it has more subscribers than the other one, but I like having a playground channel as well, and a slightly more calculated, like more like video essay style channel, or little documentary style channel or whatever. And here in this last one, there's a few fire bits, and if you watched that, you would have seen the flashback, or if you happened to watch the last stream. But just to get an analysis on it, we gotta... Where's the other channel? Where's the one we're on? Okay. Here, by the way, I don't know if all of you know this. Sometimes people are like, oh no, I missed the live stream. 95% of my live streams I keep as a video after the fact. And so maybe more than that, maybe 98% of the live streams or something I keep as a video after the fact. And so they're on here. They're just on the live tab. That's just how they put it now. So you got your different tabs now. But let's do a little analysis of what happened. No, I don't want an ad. Come on. If this is like my worst nightmare, is that I have to watch an ad and then my video gets flagged for some copyright thing related to the ad. And it's like, are you serious? You're going to add insult to injury like that? I have to worry about copyright of not showing a certain, like, other people's images or audio in a certain way, but you're going to show ads even when I'm logged into my... Okay, no, I'm not logged in here, but they do it. They show me ads even when I'm logged into my own channel and I watch my own video. It's kind of weird. It's like I need to put the ads on. I don't... It doesn't even matter. If I don't put the ads on, YouTube's going to give you ads anyway. So by me saying I'm okay with ads, it doesn't even change that they give you ads or not. It just changes that I get like a little revenue from it. And then, which, we need to fund our combo operation. A little revenue is great. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll put the ads on in a non-obtrusive way. I don't turn them all on. I don't, maximize how many ads you could throw in a video. I could be putting ads in the middle of this stream, but I don't do stuff like that. I put them at the beginning if you click the stream for the first time, but they don't go like in the middle of the stream to interrupt your thing. But it doesn't even matter if they're gonna like, if I click that or not, they're gonna show you ads on my videos. They do that. Whether or not I say like, please give me a little revenue from it. And the annoying thing is, even when I'm logged into my own account and I watch my own videos, there's ads on it. It's like, shouldn't there be some setting for that? Like, how am I so? I'm not logged in now, but that's part of why I don't even care about being logged in here. Is because like, if I logged in, it wouldn't help. Anyway, not meant as a main criticism of YouTube. Like I genuinely am a huge YouTube fan. I am an honest person, so I roast even my friends, and I consider YouTube like a friend because they have been accepting of my various journeys. I've made many channels in the past. It took a while for one of my channels to get any viewers that weren't my friends, but this one and the combo class channel were like the first ones, which are like a pair. The first that got any viewers outside my friends, but I've had many channels in the past. But YouTube's been, decently nice to these channels, and I love YouTube as a viewer. I love watching YouTube. So I'm not even like trying to like suck up to YouTube or anything if I ever say YouTube's hella cool. Like, I like watching most of my video form media on YouTube as a consumer as well. So anyway, I will my point is I'll criticize them once in a while, but if anyone from YouTube's watching, I really love you guys. You guys are the coolest video website. Anyway, here I'm lighting a candle. It's always when it's what you don't, the tiny little candle you don't think is going to cause you the problem. It's never when it's the bit. So here, okay, we have to do a frame by frame analysis of here, because here's where it gets interesting. I'm not on fire here, right? Not on fire. Okay, and then as I go, so I'm trying to hold up an orange. I was trying to show it to the camera, and I was going to eat it because it has a mini orange in it. If you've ever seen those oranges that have like a little segment on the inside that's like a little orange, and sometimes it's like sweeter than the outside orange and kind of cool. It's kind of fun. So I was going to show that, but I held it up to the camera. At some point while I was leaning and holding this over, I must have been too close to the candle, because we can't see the moment it happened. As soon as I lift this away, something's already wrong. As soon as I move this away. Now, I actually have to put on the audio from this because it's kind of hilarious how... Well, I didn't realize, so I just like maintained my usual nonchalant tone. Don't censor this, YouTube. This is an orange. So, yeah, it's like, so I'm basically saying don't censor this, YouTube, because it's an orange, because, it's the type of gag I don't want to explain, because I have, like, kid viewers and stuff, but this sort of, if you overanalyze this looks kind of like parts of female anatomy, and so I said, don't censor this, YouTube, it looks like an orange. It's a joke I do once in a while if I hold up something that accidentally looks like a bit of male anatomy. This time it happened to look like a bit of female anatomy, so I was like, okay, don't censor it, YouTube. It looks like an orange. Don't censor this, YouTube. This is an orange. And then I'm just like trying to explain the orange, and I do not notice this big problem, Domotro. Yeah, something you didn't notice there, Domotro. So I'm holding it up. At some point, I leaned too close. I don't know when it was, because when I lift it away, it's already going. Now, it left a hole. There's a big hole in the lab coat. So you see that hole? That's from, and it left a hole in the lower thing. It left like a sandwich hole. It left a big hole in the outer layer. This is the same sweatshirt I was wearing. Not the same undershirt. It was like a red one you could see in there. But I think, but the same sweatshirt. And you can see it left a little hole. The fire was like going there and left a big hole on that and a little hole on that. Now, the reason I have a big blister on my hand isn't from that. That didn't actually burn me. It was because I swatted it out. And I think I got some of the like burnt lab coat on my hand or something. So there was like a little bit of plasticky burnt stuff on my hand. And so you could hear me here in a minute. Here's me swatting it out. This is an orange. Anyway, this is an orange, but it's ow. See, I haven't fully analyzed this. I need to watch this in slow motion. I need to see like my reaction to that, because this is the type of thing that people would think I would have put like in a video as a skit or something. But this is in a live stream and it was 100% an accident. Now, I need to watch this on slow-mo. What does my reaction to being on fire look like? Because, like, when you're in the moment, I don't know what my... I was just like, oh, my God. Anyway... How did I not notice this? I shouldn't have worn so many layers. It's like, right now it's burning through that layer. Then it's burning through that layer. Oh my God, look how close it is to my hair. This is like, oh my God, I'm so lucky my hair didn't rub it. So yeah, this is Domotro's reaction to accidentally being on fire. This is an orange, but it's a... Oh! Ow! So the was a shock and was a brushing it off, but the ow right there was actually the moment I acknowledged that something was like bad with the thing. I've had parts of my coat on fire before, and this time the issue was that I brushed it off with my hand, like my bare hand, and I got some of the jacket on me, kind of, and then I was like rinsing it off with the hose, and it was really hard to get the hose working, and it was like at night, and it was just me, and then I sprayed the computer, and I was like, how can I like try and spray myself and clean the computer, and then... So I quit the live stream and I was like, I'll be back soon. And then I wasn't back soon. So sorry to anyone who thought I was dead. I did reply to some comments to show that I wasn't dead. But there's a warning, folks. If you ever see me playing around with a big fire in an episode, I'm probably being conscious of it. If you ever see me being casual around a small fire, warn me. Because apparently being casual around a small fire causes a lot more pain and damage than many, many experiments over the course of 2 years involving large fires that were conscious, that I had preparations in place for. There's been more than a dozen times I have had fires bigger than my entire body in a combo class episode that I was quite close to. But in these cases, there was another person with me, there was a hose there, and other precautions as well. And I was aware that I'm doing this thing, that I am temporarily going to be close to a fire and be really aware right now, you know. But in this case, the tiny candles got me. The tiny ones. Who knew? New lessons can be learned each holiday season. This one is to, I guess, be careful around your holiday candles. Now, People asked if I'm still interested in finding programmers. I am. The thing is, I am very bad recently at responding to emails. I haven't been responding to the combo class email recently. I promise everybody that it's not due to a lack of interest if you have sent me an email, and it's due to a literal anxiety condition. I seem like a very confident person on the surface because there are certain aspects of me that are very confident. Checking my digital texts and emails, I get very, very nervous about for some reason. And so I'm working on that. But I promise anyone that if I have not answered your email or whatever, that it is due to my own anxiety and it is not due to the contents of your email. Now, to whoever asked about if I still want programmers, ironically, my recommendation is email me because I am going to get better at responding to those soon. But email me or message me on Discord or something. And the Combo Class Discord is in the subreddit. Or email me. I will get better at answering those because, yes, I do want to work with more programmers. I have loads of ideas that are in my personal note documents that are things where I was like, this is a cool pattern. Let me test it for all the 2-digit numbers or whatever. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to test it for all the 3-digit numbers because I was doing it by hand. And so I have plenty of patterns that I could throw at programmers and just say, hey, cultivate some results out of this and tell me if you find anything interesting. And if you're not sure, just send me like a big batch of data and I'll tell you if I find anything interesting. Now, because, yeah, I have many interesting ones. Some relate to my numberations. If anyone wants a project right now, hang around till about 20 minutes from now in the stream or so probably. I'll be talking about calculations about finite sets of what I call numberations. My latest episode on Combo Class channel was about infinite sets of numberations with restrictions, but still infinite amounts of them total. And we're going to be looking at finite sets of them to do some calculations I wanted to do anyway. And so whoever wants to program, look at the bit that's going to be like 20 or 30 minutes from now in the stream, and I will explain how you could take what we're going to be doing by hand in the stream further. Now, that's somebody who commented as well. What if I just said some things I'd like programmed? Yep. So yeah, a lot of them are things that I've paused on because I want to make episodes about them because I already have enough of a start of the process that I want to like make an episode and then say in the full episode like, hey programmers, here's a future thing you could do. But I should do more of them in streams because I create ideas faster than I film them. So there's going to be a backlog of ideas that I have that would be cool for programmers to work on that aren't in episodes yet. Now, with that said, I do want to work with some programmers. The reason I said email me or something like that is because I do want to work with some people on some of the ones that are going to be episodes for visualizations of things. So if you're a programmer who can also, to a mild degree, animate, I'm especially interested in chatting, even if it's as simple as, say, coloring a graph in a way that's just like a unique way that, like, you know, we don't have to use Desmos or whatever, like, you know, we own the thing, I credit you or whatever, for coloring a graph or coloring, for example, a grid of numbers. If there was a cellular automata-ish sort of numbers, being able to color it based on a key. If you're a programmer who knows very simple ways to also show the visualization of it, such as, you know, really simple animations that I can even write a storyboard for it if it helps. But that stuff's extra helpful. Today, I will share something I am quite interested in with, though. And maybe I'll get to that in the nearer future. Maybe it'll be just 10 minutes from now. Where we're going to look at finite batches of numerations, and I have 3 or 4 different questions that are basically like rule sets for how numbers would work. And what I want to know is for a given... I'll explain it in a minute. It's worth it for the programmers. Okay. Anyway, a lot of fun holidays. And the other thing I wanted to note, just while we're on our holiday season topic, even though I put the tree away, is that I look at holidays every day. Look, these are today's other holidays. Somebody said it's Make Cutout Snowflakes Day. Let me make sure this is actually on screen. I don't think it is yet. Somebody said it's Make Cutout Snowflakes Day. Somebody said, you can't see that one, I guess, but it's close enough. Somebody said it's National Fruitcake Day. And it's Visit the Zoo Day. Visit the Zoo. You know what that reminds me of, though? Do you folks know YouTube lore? Do you know that the first video ever on YouTube was called Me at the Zoo? And Me at the Zoo has like a funny history where this guy Jawed, I better not play it. I don't even think, like, he wouldn't even get mad at me for copyright. This dude seems hella chill, but YouTube will somehow. But Me at the Zoo is the first video ever. This guy has 4.28 million subscribers, with this being his only video, and it's literally like, hi, I'm at the zoo. These are some elephants. Look, they have long trunks. Like, that's the video. Honestly, even delivered in a pretty awkward tone. It's like a quite awkward delivery of, hi, I'm at the zoo. These are some elephants with cool trunks, or whatever. Now, the thing is, this guy helped invent YouTube. He's one of the co-founders. And so he was one of the ones who put up many test videos before. This is the first public video on YouTube. But there are records that there had been test videos. People have gone on old, like, archive ways of looking back at the web and finding that there were uploads of other test videos that this guy put out on this account. And so he was one of the co-founders of YouTube. This somehow ended up being like the video that was public out of all of it. Me at the Zoo, the main test video. It's kind of showing what YouTube's about. It's like, so I'm just at the zoo. I get to make a video. That's what was so cool to me as a kid. Not this video, but like I remembered being young and YouTube came out, or I first discovered YouTube, but it came out after I was born. So at some point, either it came out or I discovered it. And I was like really young and like, oh my God, seeing it at a friend's house. That's so cool that people, like, I made home videos at that point, and I didn't think people would get to watch your videos if you weren't like some Hollywood person. And it's like, oh my God, YouTube. It's like this site where you can just put your video out and people can watch it if they want. That was so cool to me. And so this is sort of representative of that. And funny enough, this guy has a great sense of humor. You know what he did recently? So, wait, Me at the Zoo new thumbnail. It was only temporary, I guess, because it's back to this. But this guy is like not a fan necessarily of all of YouTube's weird clickbaity, algorithmy, strange stuff. Especially, I guess, the hyper intense clickbait thumbnails where essentially this is his mockery of it. He temporarily made the thumbnail of that video this, which is just like such a great like version of like what a modern YouTuber who made a video called Me at the Zoo would probably make it look like. This is like the Mr. Beastification, not even meaning like Mr. Beast would do this, but like all the people copying him. This is like what thumbnails look like nowadays on YouTube. So it's so funny. He like literally changed it to that for a bit. I found some, I think, legit sources for it. No. So anyway, it's visit the zoo day. I guess it's a good time to make sure your elephants have long trunks. Now, every day has holidays. Look, tomorrow's Call a Friend Day. So try and call a friend, folks. That one I believe in. Card playing day. Oh boy, our numberations relate to a card game I'm inventing. Download day. That's dumb. Who needs a download day? People download too much stuff nowadays. You don't need a download day, you stupid. Okay. Short film day. That's cool. Pledge of Allegiance day. I'm not that. I live in America, but I'm not that patriotic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all my patriotic Americans. I'm not going to say I'm going to say this one's overrated. If I'm saying over or underrated, I'm saying overrated, equal rated, overrated, equal rated. Nah, chocolate's overrated. Screw that. There's better candies. I like gummy candies. I like sour candies. Other ones that taste like fruit. Overrated. Equal or maybe underrated. Don't know what this means or enough about it to rate. Underrated. Call a friend day. Okay. So, that's just my opinions. These are not facts. Those are opinions. Now, playing card day is a good chance to transition over to a certain topic I wanted to talk about related to finite batches of numberations. Somebody asked these numberations, to those who don't know, although I recommend watching the whole new episode that's linked in the description here, a numberation itself is a very simple nickname. It means an operation, then a number, as a single unit. It means something like +1, or ×3, or divide by 2, or whatever. And yes, so somebody asked if it can work for non-integers. Yes, if we allow divide by something as a numberation, we can certainly reach rational numbers. Now, as far as reaching transcendental numbers, or things like pi, things like that would take an infinite amount of the typical amount of numberation to reach. You could not reach them in a finite amount of numberations. However, theoretically, you could expand the definition of numberations to include more stuff if you allow numberations to include things like the something root of, instead of like ×2, like the third root of is theoretically could be considered a numberation. We could, for many numbers, we could even define that as to the power of 1/3, or we could put it to the power of a fractional number, and that I would certainly consider a numberation would be something like to the power of 1/3. I would definitely consider that a numberation. Now, that would allow us to reach square roots. It would allow us to reach many algebraic, possibly all the algebraic numbers. Those don't include numbers such as pi or e. So those numbers we would either need to expand the definition of numberations in a kind of weird direction. I'm not sure how you'd try and expand it to include multiple transcendentals. You'd kind of have to expand it one way for pi and a different way for e. Or you'd have to use an infinite amount and say that you are approximating it at each stage. And someone noted that even most rational numbers would take an infinite amount of time, like 1/3. Now, it depends on the numberation, because with a given, like if our numberations are divide by 2, then 1/3 would take an infinite amount of time. But, if our numberation was divided by 3, 1/3 would be really easy. So, as long as we had like +1 in the mix somewhere. So, depending on the numberation, certain rationals would take infinite as well. And mentioning these numerations, I do think I need to explain a little bit about... Somebody's saying Happy New Year. It's not quite our New Year, but Happy New Year to you as well. And we'll be New Year'sing before too long. I'll do maybe a New Year's special or something. Anyway, the New Year's would be a few days down the line on this, on our holidays. Like next, we get on the scales day. That sounds kind of mean. Pepper pot day. Don't know what that means. Sounds cool though. Or it didn't sound cool till I saw the image, and that looked kind of cool. No interruptions day. I don't know what any of these means. Okay. TikTok day. Hopefully that is about clocks and not about the popular video site. Even though I have a lot of followers on that video site because I used to post a lot of the shorts on there last year. I should go back on TikTok. I forget sometimes that Combo Class has 50,000 followers on there. But I just haven't posted on there in months because it's not a site I use. I love YouTube. YouTube's what I love using. But I really should post on the TikTok again. Now, Bacon Day. Sorry to my vegans and vegetarians. I'm a fan of Bacon Day. Falling Needles Family Fest Day. Don't know what that means, but once again, a pretty cool image. Bicarbonate of Soda Day. Sodium bicarbonate is that so baking soda basically. That stuff is multi-use. You can cook with that. And in fact, a lot of people don't know if your stomach's upset and you have, like, for example, what's called acid reflux ever. A lot of the medicine you take for an upset stomach or that type of feeling, it contains mostly this. And you probably also have this in your pantry. And you can actually just, like, stir. You have to do it right. But they literally have these instructions on a box of baking soda. Like, in addition to cooking stuff, they have instructions for, like, take this amount of it mixed in this amount of water if your stomach's weird. And so it's kind of like medicine, too. Like, I don't know. I do that sometimes. I'll mix some baking soda in water and drink it if my stomach's messed up. It's like, sort of like taking, like, what's called Tums or, like, various medicines like that. A lot of it's that. So, a day or two down the line, we hit our New Year's. Oh, come on. People, who's making up other holidays on New Year's Eve? I guess they're all references to it. Like, Unlucky Day's got to be a joke. This is, what? Who's going to make a day called Unlucky Day? This is like what I was saying in the other day about, if you're going to make a superstition, why are you going to be like, okay, I'm going to have some silly, non-factual thing about the number 13. Let's make it be that it's bad luck. It's like, why? Come on, why can't... If we're going to make some silly, not factual thing about a superstition, why can't we make it good luck? That would be way more fun. So, Unlucky Day, that's a ripoff. But I think it's because they say... I read this once when I looked at the New Year's one the other day, and I saw this one, and it said, maybe you had a lucky year, but it doesn't mean today will be lucky. It's like, well, but maybe it will be. Are you trying to placebo effect everyone into having a bad day? Okay, it says, not everyone. Yeah, they actually are. They say not everyone can be lucky all the time. Somebody has to have an unlucky day. This is evil. Whoever wrote this is trying to straight up give people like a placebo effect of, I'm going to have a bad day. This happens for a lot of people today because it's Unlucky Day. No. Some embrace the bad luck while remaining hopeful. They're making it sound factual. Some embrace the bad luck while remaining hopeful for the year ahead. Others attempt to stop the bad luck. Yeah, how about those who aren't unlucky? What about the third category? People who weren't unlucky on that day. You're just saying everyone was unlucky on that day? Come on. I will not be unlucky on the New Year's. I don't know. I've had many December 31st when I was not unlucky. They say it's been going on all these years. I wasn't unlucky all of those December 31sts. I had some pretty good New Year's. Anyway, Hogmanay. Oh, it's a Scottish New Year. Makes sense, a foreign term. And New Year's Eve will be something we may do a special for, but for now, we can just celebrate that we're going to call it the Me at the Zoo Day, even though it's called Visit the Zoo Day. We're on YouTube, so we'll celebrate the first YouTube video ever. We'll call it Me at the Zoo Day. Even though that's probably inaccurate because people would probably say that Me at the Zoo Day should be the day that video dropped. Whatever, Visit the Zoo Day. That's cool too. Zoos are a little weird because certain zoos are not very nice how they keep the animals in cages. Other zoos have rescued these animals from habitats where the animals wouldn't have been safe anyway. And it's kind of hard to do the research on, like, you know, if you're going to a zoo, if it's like, okay, to what degree are these animals ones that they're helping? To what degree are these animals that they're hurting? I still say it's okay to go to the zoo, but a little weird. But I've had many good experiences at the zoo. I've learned about many animals and now probably been more aware about trying to preserve their habitats or enjoy them in my own life to whatever degree that helps. Anyway, Visit the Zoo Day. So, we're going to get to our numberations in a moment. Now, I'm going to have to assemble something here. So, and somebody said they thought Unlucky Day was Friday the 13th. It's also supposed to be that our society decided that we need to have many unlucky days. For some reason, whoever comes up with the day is having a lot of fun being like, oh yeah, I'm going to curse everybody else. We'll just make an unlucky day and we'll just curse everyone else. But whoever is reading about the day is like, oh man, really? So, okay, whoever's making up these days, chill out. Think about the people who are reading about the days. I'm not taking your thing. I'm flipping it. If you call it unlucky day, I'm going to say I'm going to be extra lucky that day to spite you. No, I've always thought 13 was extra lucky. And even Friday the 13th I enjoy. For those curious who haven't seen, about a year ago, or a little less maybe, I made an episode on the Combo Class channel called The Calendar with 13 Friday the 13th every year. And you know I don't like to clickbait, so you know that video is going to be about a calendar system that has 13 Friday the 13th every year. So, that's going to be one for some of you to catch up on, maybe, if you want any unlucky holidays. But as I say in that, I treat the 13th as a lucky thing. I kind of always have. That's way more fun than treating it as an unlucky thing. So, look, here's the thing. Maybe people have such good luck in their life that they're so bored, they're like, I want some bad luck. But, like, no, I've had enough bad luck in my life. I've been through some really, really bad things. I get bad luck once in a while every month. I'm okay with when I choose the superstition, with me choosing good luck. The bad luck will fit its way in. The bad luck will find its way to make an appearance. So we'll choose good luck whenever we have the option, because why not? Come on, that's way more fun. Now, someone else just says, baking soda day goes crazy. Yeah, baking soda day goes crazy, dog. Baking soda day just goes off the charts ham crazy. Now, People are wondering various things, and the only one I have time to answer right now is what is special about 2024. Yes, we will mention that in whatever New Year's sort of video or live stream I do around New Year's time. That, spoiler alert, 2024 is what's called a tetrahedral number. Those numbers are pretty neat. So, yep, 2024 has a quite cool trait. We'll investigate. Somebody asked, would it be better if months had 28 days each? Definitely watch my episode about the thing about 13 Friday the 13th, because that certainly might be related. Now, I'm going to need to take a momentary intermission while I set up something to explain a little more about the card game I've been inventing so that I can explain about finite batches of numerations. Because I want to give a little context of, like, I'm going to be asking a math question, but I want to give the context of why I'm asking this math question. Because it's really math questions that are emerging, not just out of curiosity about numbers, but also out of trying to make a fun, for humans, card game. And this is an interesting balance where I may be looking for different things than normally I'd look for in the data. I may be saying I want to have enough variance of certain sorts. I may want, if this is your amount of units you can use, and there's different rules for how to use the units, maybe I want there to be a lot of possible strategies that aren't necessarily better than each other. There's not like a best obvious strategy. So, I'm going to pause this for a moment, but I'll give you two things. I'll give you our graphing calculator back, and we'll switch this up a bit. We'll make this a bit different. There's a new type of graph we'll get to look at for a minute. And I'll also, I guess I'll put on one of my beats for a minute while I set something up that will help me explain my card game. Now, okay, I'm going to be setting it up with upside down magic cards. That is a different card game, but I'm not actually explaining magic cards right now. I'm using them because they're closer than my deck of playing cards. So you could do this with a deck of playing cards for your example as well. Mine are going to happen to be magic cards. But there also will be an episode before too long where I'm going to give my thorough analysis of the strongest and weakest magic cards of all time out of all 30,000 and what that teaches us about game design. But separate from that, we're about to just use the cards just to have, like, as a card. So, in the meantime, let me temporarily, I guess I'll throw on one of my beats. You know, I like to soundtrack all my episodes. I don't know if you know that, but I make the soundtracks of my episodes. And let's see. We'll play one of the newer ones that I made. I've played this once or twice before, possibly, but it's one of the newer beats I made. And yes, there will be a version of this that I'm rapping and singing over that will come out at some point as a music video, as of many of my beats. Many people will abandon this channel when I start putting my music out. It's not a tangential weird quest to be a white YouTube rapper. I am actually a musician who's a big fan of many genres, notably hip-hop, which a lot of it is along the lines of, although it has many influences. And I will be making music videos on this channel, which has been something I've planned all along, and I don't care if some people quit this channel. It's my bonus channel. So here's an example of one of my beats that at some point I'll be rapping / singing over. And currently I sometimes put in the background of some of my videos. Made this one maybe about 2 months ago. I'll be back shortly.